So now I'm going to be bringing on the poet. Not just any poet. He's a poet that is from where I actually live, incidentally. He's a fantastic poet. And because he's from my neck of the woods, makes it all the more special for me. Nick Degg, are you there, fella?
Yeah, have you got me now?
Yeah. Oh, yes, we got you now. How are you, Nick? You all right, mate?
Yeah, cool and dandy.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, being from the land of dreams, of course, our neck of the woods, the Potteries, it's a privilege to say, please welcome our poet for the evening, Mr. Nick Degg.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, I have got connections with Macclesfield, actually. My first poetry gig about 6 years ago was at Mash Guru in Macclesfield. So I've been to Mac quite a few times. And I'm not your standard type poet who'll talk about rolling hills and summer meadows and stuff like that. I prefer to talk about Monster Munch and kettle chips, savoury tomato spaceships, skips and snaps and bacon fries and frazzles that dazzle and water the eyes, chipsticks, watties, cheesy puffs, potato, corn maze and other stuffs, taste sensations on your tongue. It feels so... It's just so wrong. Crispy crisp and crunchy crunch. Just one bag with your lunch and you squeeze the bags in the shop to find the one that's full to top. We all do it. And did you know that a barbecue beef hula hoop makes an ideal crouton in oxtail soup? Oh, yeah. I need some crisps. I need them now, flavoured pig or cheese or cow. Open the bag and breathe it in or pop the top off a Pringles tin. Savour the flavour, do us a favour, lend us a quid, I need a quaver. Crisps, I love you. Cheers. That's me crisp poem. And the next poem, I think it's quite apt, really, that this is an auction because I had an idea about how to sell words as a commodity. So this is how I do it. This is a poem called Words for Sale. Come and get your words, £5 for a pound. That's how I used to sell words on market. But now I offer a more specialised service. I can sell you long words or short words or words that make you laugh or cry. Words that hold precious memories and words for things you've forgotten about. And I've got some words that fell off the back of a lorry. Some are broken, some are dented, and some went down the grid. And they got covered in muck. But somebody will still buy these words because you can smell them, so you can remember where you put them. And I had some words that I bought in France, and it picked them up in a Citroën van. And on the way back, I drove into central London and sold them to swanky bars and restaurants, because they'll buy anything down there, you know. And I've also got some words that will cost you over £100, like the word that describes the opposite of fire, or the noise that a photograph of an explosion makes, or the word for the difference between a measurement and a dimension. I'm doing job lots now, on pallets, wrapped in plastic so they don't get wet or float off. And you can choose from children's words or adult words. Even words containing the letters X and Z are at the standard price. And nouns and verbs can be coated in breadcrumbs. And I'll do a kilogram bag of punctuation marks for just £20. Overseas buyers, please be aware that most words are right-hand drive. Some can have strong accents, and some could be about you. But if it's just a handful of words that you're after, why not try your luck? Down the market. Come and get your words, £5 for a pound. Come and get your words. Cheers. Right, next up. Now, as you will know, Stoke-on-Trent is famous for the oatcake, and it's also less famous for the superhero. We've got our own superhero, and he's called Oatcake Man. And this is about him. He's half man, half oatcake, eager to please if you give him some cheese. Sausages for arms, you'll fall for his charms. Bacon for legs, he'll soak up your eggs. He'd take a knife to save your life because he's Oatcake Man, like Superman, but without the soup. Cheers. Boom, boom. Okie dokie, this next poem. Now, I'm not all daft silliness. I can do serious poems as well. And this is a poem called Tree. And it goes back to a time where I saw two ladies on the mobiles completely ignoring their children behind them who were running around the base of a tree. And I thought to myself, anybody could be off with them kids and they wouldn't know because they're just too busy. So I wrote about a tree as being a protector. So this is Tree. In my next life, I want to be a tree, not a tree stuck in a wood, oh no. I want to be a free tree, a tree with a conscience, leaves like a novel's pages, and I want to read poetry on very sturdy stages. And I'd love for children to climb me, to learn about fear, of heights and balance, to test themselves, because the view up here is clear of bullies and schools and parents and rules, and I'll keep them here and hold them tight away from prying eyes, hurtfulness and ne'er-do-wise who spread spiteful lies. Sit with me, talk to me, hug me, because I understand, you see. I was once humanoid, but now I'm of the land. My roots are here, my roots are there, my roots seek moisture and my leaves suck air. I am you, and you are me, and we are human, and we are tree. Thank you. There we go, that's Tree. Right, this next one. This is semi-true, this next poem, and it's about me and another poet from Stoke. We went to a poetry night in Congleton, one of John Linley's poetry nights, and we were driving out of town, and there was a fella with his semi-transparent bag of beer, and I jokingly said to me mate, why don't we bonk him on the head and leg it with his ale, because nobody would believe he got mugged by two poets. So I wrote this, and this is the badass mothers of the poetry circuit. He looked up at the policeman, dazed and confused, relieved of his late night special brew stash by two wordsmiths with iron fists and velvet voices. Did you see your assailants? Can you describe them? Were they local? What did they say? I saw them all right. They were all corduroy and duffel coats. They both had glasses on and looked like bad teachers. They weren't from round here. From Stoke, I think. One of them said, give us your special brew or we'll break your armitages. And the other one said, give us your cans or we'll duffy you up. Do you think they could have been poets, said the PC. No, I don't think so. They didn't speak in rhyming couplets. Not all of them do. Some poets use villanelles, haikus and quatrains. Actually, now you come to mention it, one of them did say, the sky tonight is like talcum powder droplets on a black marble bathroom. Its depth goes beyond infinity and spreads into the sunken double darkness that swallows meteorites, and the sulfur clanicles, nitro gloops and blistered oceans of speculation spurt arid waters back into vortexial colloids before imploding to become doom showers that echo for millions of years. No, I think you're right, they wouldn't have been poets, said the PC. Cheers. And that actually was taken from A Cup of Teeth by me good self, and it's available via Amazon. And this next poem, I'll just do a couple of more, I think, because I'm conscious of the time. This is about when I was 7, there was a girl at school, at my first school, and even at 7, I just knew she was thumbs up. So this is about her. It's called First Like. You were 7. I was 7, you were heaven, but I wasn't noticed. You were noticed though, with your eyes as big as bin lids, brown as conkers and as thin as a bike, with a face that launched 1,000 rubber ducks in my bath, scent of kale, skin of Karamak and as cool as a 99. I love the way you said nougat instead of nugget. Oh, that was dead posh. And I gave you a dandelion and you dropped it right in front of me. And that still hurts now. I'd even stop playing off-ground tit just to watch you skip. And even now, I still wonder, but I know you don't, because you never once noticed me. Oh, I hope somewhere in Bollington and Macclesfield and Adlington and surrounding areas, people went, oh. But the last poem I'll do, this is a true story about the night I met my wife. I met her at a party, and it was the day before my 18th birthday. And I saw her, and she was absolutely gorgeous. And because I was party and I had a couple of cans of harp and a little bit of port, I thought I'll take my chance and go and ask her for a birthday kiss. And we got talking and we had a laugh. And then I walked her home. Little did I realise she lived about 300 miles away, but I didn't care because I met the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. So this is first night. It's 3 a.m. Mid-tunnel dark and quiet as closed curtains. A whispered goodbye and your front door closes behind me. My front door 7 miles ahead of me. Mid-July night, mild and still, the long walk begins. It's 7 a.m. Sunflower yellow, noisy as spitting sausages and milk float rattle, but nevertheless, I lie on my bed and I sleep so deeply, I lose a stone in dreams. And everyone, it's about you. I've been Nick Degg. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget the book. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nick. Nick, before you go, don't disappear, Nick. Stay on screen for us, will you, mate?
Yeah.
Because I just want to ask you a few things before you disappear. So, being a poet, where does it all come from? You know, are you a songwriter as well? These lyrics, where these words come from?
Funny you should say that. I used to be in a band, but I was a guitarist and my songwriting skills were absolutely woeful. Nobody accepted my songs. But about 89 or 90, I started writing the Port Vale fanzine, the Memoirs of Seth Bottomley, with another lad. And I got into writing because that lasted 8 or 9 years. And then when that finished, I went to college to do a creative writing class and started enjoying doing poetry and short stories. And then it came from that. And I got all of this work built up and I thought, people need to hear this. Well, people don't need to hear it. I'm going to throw it at people and see what happens. So I started gigging about getting off for 6 years ago now. And right from that very first night at Mash Guru with Mac, I haven't looked back. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so does a poem, Nick, does a poem, has it all got to rhyme? Has it all got to, or what's the secret behind a poem? Can anybody just put pen to paper?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm an old punk, so I don't tend to follow rules. You know, I don't go with set stanza lengths or rhyming poems. I've even got a poem without any words. You know, so needless to say, I don't follow rules. I just do what I want, and people seem to enjoy it, thankfully.
I don't know if you can see some of the comments that we're getting in. David Hassler has just said, good stuff, Nick. Anna has just said, really enjoyed the poetry. Good stuff. Thanks, Nick. Degg. Claire has said, brilliant, Nick. Thank you so much. Avril has said, the poet is fab. You're stealing the limelight, Nick. Get yourself off.
Well. No, I appreciate the opportunity. Any opportunity to get my voice out there. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From Stoke-on-Trent, our poet for tonight. And he's got a book out, by the way. Just search Nick Degg and you'll find him. Don't confuse Degg with Clegg. Don't type into Google Nick Clegg. No. Don't do that. It's definitely Degg, Degg. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.